Folks, if you're looking to full-time or if you're just looking for an extended stay fifth wheel RV, Grand Design just came out with their new line. This is the Influence 3503 GK. This is going to be a replacement to Grand Design's old Solitude S-Class, and for those of you who are trying to figure it out, the Solitude is Grand Design's top of the line, with the reflection being one step down. The Influence came in banging, going to take that gap that kind of made between the two lines to give you something where if you're looking for under $100,000 but still with all the residential features and benefits that you love from the Solitude, this is the floor plan for you. Grand Design did a great job. You're going to see, first of all, look at how bright and light this is. So we've definitely moved into our 2024 nowadays where we've gone with the grays, we're gone with the darks, we're going into that lighter, whiter woods. Some people love it, some people don't. I am a fan though. And you're going to notice that in this floor plan specifically, they gave you all the creature comforts that you could want from a home. From your residential refrigerator to the larger extended 3-burner. Now, I'm not going to say this is the largest of the ovens in the RV industry, but you do have enough space to cook most regular meals in there. Cool feature that they've moved into this year, you're going to see a lot of your cabinets are going to be soft close, so I'll let that, and it's just going to close itself for me. You do get the premium Rockford Fosgate speaker sound system. It's going to be hidden behind your TV. It's flush, kind of like a sound bar would be, as well as outside. They've taken the speakers, instead of putting them up high where it doesn't really make sense, they've actually lowered them. So whether you're sitting or standing, they're at a more vocal sound point for you. Great upgrade to the 2024 line. You do still have a fireplace. Yes, you can use that for pretty lights, but you can also use it for heat. And while we're in this section, one thing I love that they still do in the Influence line is both sides of the floors are going to be flush mounted slides, so you don't have any of those toe stubbers. You'll know if you go into some of the lower end RVs that you'd be kicking your toes right here on that plate. It's flush mounted. It's a 101-inch wide body chassis that gives you that ability. Speaking of the wide chassis, that does mean that you get a larger sleeper sofa. So this is a trifold, pulls out, and it's wider than a full size, actually probably wider than a queen. I'd have to double check though. You do have a ton of overhead storage, all the LED lighting throughout. Blackout shades do cover all these windows, but I left them open because you have to see. This is a panoramic view. A lot of people who are first time to full-time living or extended stays in the RV world don't understand that this side of the RV is usually where you're going to park to see the pretty things. So Grand Design did a great job by putting the kitchen TV on the other side and giving you these large panoramic views so you can see everything that you want to, as well as in that back window. It's made to be bright, light, and never feel like you're in that small box. A couple other cool features. You're going to see that they did upgrade their kitchen island. We've got new pattern texturing, accent lighting, but the sink, I mean, come on. There's no question to it. Whether you're going to rinse your vegetables with the little waterfall feature, if you want a cutting board that could take someone out, if you're trying to just use like a deep kind of defrost thawing in here, you can keep that plugged. The coolest thing though is going to be that glass cleaner. I'd push it down right now, but we winterize here at McLean's RV. It is the winter time. You got to make sure you protect those RVs. This one is not immune to that, but if you are using it, the Grand Design's Influence line is going to be fully climate package protected. That can mean a lot of things. In this one, it does mean that in addition to the fact that you have 3 air conditioning units on this one, Grand Design went above and beyond. They actually made all 3 of these are 15K BTUs. That's the biggest in the industry, is a factory-only option. So make sure if you're looking at a dealer that that's something that they've done for you. But also, you'll notice the heat, right? So one thing you don't see on the floor here is your heat registers. They've put them all into the side cabinetries and the walls in all the high traffic areas. What that does for you is it keeps a more consistent heat, but more importantly for you, especially if you've got dogs who are using this little pet bull down here, they don't have to worry about sitting down on your heat vents. You don't have to worry about dust, dirt, fur, or blocked air circulation when you're running that furnace for the first time of the year. In addition to that, helping on that climate package, they're going to seal your complete underbelly as well as have forced air going down into there to heat it during the wintertime. So when you are using the RV, you don't have to worry about the antifreeze. Just keep your heat on. If it's hot in here, it's hot down there. Again, watch out for those Arctic temperatures. I'm talking to my Texas fans currently. We're located in actually the DFW area as well as Oklahoma. Make sure you come and see me. Moving around, we're going to go to the recliners, I do like that this year they've done an upgrade. So you do have power recline on both sides as well as USB chargers to plug, but you're going to notice there's two rocker switches. You can actually tilt the angle of your headrest. So if you really want to get both reclined but optimal to see the TV, you're perfectly set. It's square, good to go. And if you do want to focus that TV more for your visitors, you can actually pull it out. It will swivel, so regardless of where someone is sitting in the RV, you can show it to them. All right. All of your windows do open, which is great because it gives you all that airflow when you're parked on the nicer weather days. We're going to come up towards the front side here. We do have a walk-in pantry. Highlighted inside, you can see you do have TravelFi. That is Grand Design's built-in Wi-Fi router system. Call and ask McLean's, would be happy to tell you a little bit more about that. It does also come with Lippert's Tire Link. It's a tire pressure monitor system that's going to allow you to have a live read in your car, both temperature and air pressure. You got what we like to call the wine hutch, coffee hutch, make your choice. Remember, you do have all of the outlets are hidden under your cabinetry, so you'll see that you've got space here as well as on the side with the oven that's going to give you plenty of room, whether it's a coffee maker, if it's a ice maker, any appliance that you want. For those who like the Instant Pots, it's going to fit here. Cool things coming up front. You will see that you've got storage right here. Notice that I opened it from the left side, but you'll see the one above here is going from the right. Reason is, if you're opening it coming in, you can use this as like kind of a coat closet storage space. But if you're standing upstairs, you'll actually open it from here. Might be a little hard angle to get, but I'll try and show you. You've got your main control panels as well as extra storage to throw things in. All your control panels you can Bluetooth control on your phone if you're within that 30-foot radius. Just a quick show you, these are the blackout shades that they've got for this year. Fantastic option. It's going to keep you nice and cool. Help with that temperature regulation. Not to mention, I don't know if you can see outside that window, but that white color, we'll probably show you later in the video on the exterior. They really brightened it up, which is going to help you for, again, those Texas summers or wherever you're at. But if you're somewhere hot during the cold or heat time, that's going to help you for the year-round usage. One of my favorite personal features is going to be right here. This slides out of your dresser. In previous models and on some of the lower end campers, you'll see that they used to have that flip up style storage. The reason they changed to the slide, you still get all this extra storage. It's great for jewelry, small rings, things like that. Texans love their, I can't say it for YouTube, but those can fit in there too. But the cool thing is now, if you store something on top of here, you can actually pull this in and out and you don't have to move stuff off. The other added benefit, you'll see if I'm sitting here, it's not much of a reach. A lot of people will use this as a workstation. If you're a work from home, full-time traveler, or maybe you just want to use this as like a mobile office when you're out on the road, you have that smart TV up there that you could take your computer, plug it into, use that as your desktop, or you could have a 3-screen setup here with your keyboard right on here. Plenty of space to use, plenty of space to work on, and it's quite stable. When you close it, you see you do have 6 drawers, as well as, right now I'm sitting on the king size version, but they do also make this as a queen. I always recommend to people, get the king option. If you're buying it, ordering it from the factory, you can change it to queen, but king's better to have at the dealer because it's easier to make it into a queen than a king. So if you want that more walk space, it's simple, we trim it, but I really wanted to highlight, look at all that storage. So once we put the bed down, you can see it's on hydraulics. Another cool thing in this bed area is you'll see that on the headboard you do have this extra storage, but if you just push that in on both sides, it comes down, and now you can have your choice. If you just want pure headboard, it's there, but if you do have the king bed option like you see in this one, you get kind of a smaller cabinet here for phones and stuff. So for those who have CPAP machines or want a little bit more, that's why this is going to come up and it can lock in to give you that more storage space. Behind me on my left, you're going to see that we do have the walk-in style closet, extra hidden storage behind it. It does have a lip, so if you have totes, cubbies, those kind of things, it's going to secure them. More storage into the corner, and then right next to it, you're going to have a fully separate doored storage, good for whether you want more clothes. It does have the closet setup made for it, but it does also come prepped for a washer and dryer. You can do stackable, you could do a combo unit. either of those could work. Do remember we do have the AC in the bedroom. This one, all McLean's are going to come pretty much standard with the 3 ACs. And the biggest thing again to highlight is they're not a 15K and two 13.5s. They're all 15K ACs. That is a huge feature Grand Design did for this year. We're going to move over into the bathroom now. Influence line still sticking with the porcelain toilet. And the cool thing on this, your toilet, your bed, and your fridge are all accessible when the slides are closed. That's great for when you're on the road. Freezer, not so much. You'd probably have to open the slide, but usually when you're trying to move on the road to get things, it's the quick grabs, not the frozen foods. So pack accordingly. I kept the lights low on this room intentionally. I wanted to show you. Don't get me wrong, the sink, the storage, the extra storage below is fantastic. If you didn't spot it already, yes, it is standard with the Furrion tankless water heater. But when I come into the shower, one thing I always mention to people is, for those of you who are travel nurses, people who work a lot, like in bright lights during the day, the last thing you want when you're coming home to shower is just to be in that super bright environment. So you have the accent light above me here, which is fantastic because that's going to give you the ability, if you want a low light atmosphere that's not going to be too harsh on you when you're trying to wind down, you can do that. It's also nice if you want to wake up easier, especially if you leave the door open to, if you got a partner in the bedroom when you're showering, you're less likely to bother people. Cool other things with the shower. Now, I'm not the tallest guy in the world, but you'll see the floor is recessed. So the cool thing on this one is, you notice you don't have the skylight feature here that's in the shower. Again, that's to allow you to have the low light atmosphere. But the cool thing in this one is it's going to give you the ability where even if you're tall, I mean, you got about 7 feet probably. I'm, again, about 5'9", 5'10", so there's your difference. And that gives you the ability to have big space, open shower. It's a one-piece shower, so you don't have to worry about that mold or mildew issue. And you're also still going to have that taller ceiling. The influence line from the outside is awesome as well. We might show you there for here in a second, but I really like these stairs that they've got installed on them. Now, these are solid steps, easy clean, and they're on a gasket strut. So what that means is if I just kick it up, I can use just one finger, no fingers. It's going to help lift itself. That's great for when you're putting it into storage. If you're less mobile than I am, or if maybe you got your kids with you and you want them to pack this thing up and down, it's really easy. They did also add the extended handrail to this RV, so that's great if you need a little bit more of a grip from the ground level. While we're still here, you can see they've got their famous thump here sign. If you're wondering why that's there, Grand Design, even on the influence line, is still doing a fully laminated sidewall. That adds to your insulation, that adds to the structural integrity. It's going to make this a solid RV. When we do look on the side, remember, they had the dog bowls already set for you, but they also added the screen defender. That's great for your screen door, so you don't just have the mesh. So if it's a little bit more puppy friendly than if it wasn't there. All right, nice thick door. You can see that white color I was talking about. They really made a pretty RV. You do have your little porch light available for when you're parking. Spray port for if you just need to wash off those dogs, kids. If you have a dirty day, you can wash off before coming in the RV. It is a 6-point auto level, but one thing that's huge is even though on the influence line they're not going to do the drop frame structure like the Solitude, because of that super slide that you saw up inside, they're able to have a lot longer frame into their storage, and this is a full pass-through. You'll see it's recessed on both sides. That's going to help for drainage. As well as in here you can see your tire pressure monitor system. Again, that Bluetooth to that system you saw inside the closet. You got propane on both sides. Up front though, they did a nice favor for you. So you'll have your 2 battery boxes, that's standard, but you can get this generator prepped. It is a big enough bay to do so. Another nice thing that a lot of people don't notice. See here, it says solar disconnect, and then there's another kill switch. So that's your battery disconnect, but a lot of people don't know. Yes, it does come standard with solar on the roof, but when you're parked out in the sun, solar actually helps trickle charge your battery. Pretty much everyone knows that. But when you're not in the sun, solar can actually pull that charge back. So if you're putting it in storage, or if you're trying to get somewhere and you don't want solar pulling away from the batteries in like a non-sunny atmosphere, you can actually just disconnect that, don't have to worry about it. And don't forget, again, you can put the generator right there. It's got these little pre-plumbs, but it's just a prep. We can do the rest here at McLean's, or you can do it at your local any RV service center. Now, other cool things, you'll see you do have the don't hit me lights. Keep in mind, it's just about that. If you're 6 foot or taller, you're gonna hit this. Pool noodles are a great friend, but they did give you the lights to help warn you. Yes, here's your auto level controls. And then of course, being Grand Design on the influence level, again, for those full timers, this bay is heated during the winter time. You just keep the doors closed. You can bring a tank heated water hose up through here to go into your water system. They do still use the Nautilus system, which is one of the industry leaders. It does come with an outdoor shower attachment, and you got your hose right there for it. But they kept also your low point drains internal. This is great for year-round usage, right? So this is the lowest points when you're going to drain and winterize your RV. Everything's internalized. Again, that's going to be better for those winters where it's really cold and harsh. A couple other things that I personally like, and I think you should too, is now this is the tankless water heater we talked about earlier. That's your furnace exhaust. I really like that they put it on the off-door side, which means that if you've got kids, visitors who are hanging out on the camping side, nothing hot is near them to be touched. You got your 50 amp connection, and then you'll see down here you do have your sewer pull-out. One thing that's nice is even though this is a 38-foot RV, there's only one attachment for sewer hose, so you don't need two to slinky. You'll notice right next to it, it just makes sense, folks. They put the sewer hose holder right next to the sewer hose adapter attachment. You'll see on some of the other brands and some other lines that that's nowhere near each other, so it just helps you out when you're trying to keep things clean. You got your 6-point auto level, and then down there you will see that even though we're no longer a Solitude, it does still have the Cooper H-rated tires. That does still also come with the upgraded MoRide suspension. It might be a little hard to see, but we'll try and get that on there for you. Fantastic, means that you're going to get a great ride. They come with ABS, and you're going to get that 7K axle. Some people ask me about 8K axles. The problem with that is it makes a lot stiffer of a ride, so the 7Ks are actually pretty fantastic. On the rear, you do have your tow hitch with the 4-way plug. It's good for, I believe, 300 pounds or 3,000 towing. Again, really good for like bike racks, those kind of things, if you're trying to store a little bit more. You do have the ladder. Roof is fully walkable, and of course it's prepped for the backup cameras. It's an easy add if you want one of those for your family. Besides that, folks, the only other thing to see is the awnings. You've got two on them, one on the slide and one on front. Gives you plenty of room. Those are the speakers we were talking. Again, see how they moved them down to a more audible height. Again, it's the premium Rockford Fosgate speaker system that's going to do it for you. At the end of the day, though, this is a fantastic RV. And again, if you're looking to full-time, under 40-foot RV, under $100,000, it's really the best you can get. And with that, all I can say is, my name's Bear. I'm at McLean's RV. This is why you should buy the 3503 GK Influence from Grand Design.